Hello, my name is Kathy Walters, and I'm going to be your instructor for HO 100, Introduction to Medical Terminology Online. I've created this YouTube to get you acquainted with our course website in Moodle, as well as our Cengage MindTap, which is the software you'll register with to complete the coursework for the class. So let's scroll down, and we're looking here at our Moodle website to under Please Start Here, and you'll be watching this YouTube. And what I'd like to do is we'll go into the course syllabus. All right, so we'll take a look at that here. So obviously the beginning area has the course information and info about the course, my contact information, my email and office hours. So my office hours are 12:45 to 3:15 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday. And this is I have two sections, so I have listed both the CRN numbers there. And I'm very good about responding to email, but please be sure to put your name and the course you have with me on that email, and this will help me as I have many classes and many students. All right, and then the next area here is the required materials, and I'd like to go over that just a wee bit. So there's basically three options. You can get the digital and text bundle, and so this will give you the printed book and then the access code for MindTap. The second option is a digital only, so you have the digital book and then the access to MindTap. And then this last one is kind of new as of this year with Cengage, and it's actually pretty cost effective. If you have more than one class that you're going to use Cengage software with, this is the route to take. This what they refer to as CU, Cengage Unlimited. So be sure to take a look at those and see whatever selection you want to make. Here is the web link to register for the course. I also have this on Moodle, which I'll go through here in just a minute. But I do want to go down further here and just bring your attention to this information here about this USB headset or smartphone earbuds with an inline mic. That is what works best for the pronunciation. When we get to MindTap, I'll show you the link to download the MindTap app. And this is just kind of a picture of what it looks like in MindTap. But students just rave about this app and say that it's great. I've been told that it works best with Google Chrome. So be sure to check into that. And then just a little bit about instructional methodologies. And then academic integrity. If you're a student at Lane, you should be familiar with the Student Code of Conduct. So there's the website for that. And then some resources here. Tutor Central, great resource for anything that you need help with in any of your classes. Library hours, and then SHED, which is a student help desk. And that would be with issues other than Cengage and MindTap. If you have an issue with that software that we're using for the course, you would contact Cengage directly. All right, and then a little bit about class participation, and then my late policy. I do not accept late work, so please plan your weeks appropriately to get all your work completed. All right, and then a little bit about learning outcomes, and then my grading policy is very much aligned with LCC, and there's the percentages relative to the letter grades. And then a little bit about online attendance, and then required activities. So I just want to speak a little bit about online attendance, and those of you that have taken an online class before, you're familiar with that it does require just as much work. I personally feel more work than a brick and mortar or in-person class. So I just want to say that waiting until Sunday evening to complete your work is really not a practice for success, for many reasons, but I think I'll just cite a couple here. Late on Sunday evening, if you have a technical issue, you may be out of luck because you might not be able to get assistance. So this is not a reason to miss the deadlines to submit your work. Secondly, if you do have an issue late on a Sunday evening and you email me, it could be that I wouldn't be able to get back until Monday to help you. And then lastly, if you run into a technical issue that you have to contact Cengage, this takes time, and be sure to get a case number from them when you call, particularly if it's a technical issue that's more serious and you do not get a resolution on that initial call. So that I will need that case number to investigate it further for you. All right, and then down here on the bottom, I say please scroll to the next pages, and then here is everything listed for the course. Okay, so you're going to have all these activities each week, and then I list it every week. I'm just going to several times in this YouTube remind you that there is a word part review in week 2. Students often forget to do that, so I want to just remind you that's in addition to what you're doing for chapter 2. So be sure to look through this, and this is a good reference throughout the course. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our course on Moodle, and I just first want to point out that here are the MindTap resources. So this is the link to register for the course, and then I have some information there once again repeated from the syllabus about the mobile app for pronunciation. And then there's a lot of resources here for you to go ahead and review and to be able to, learn more about MindTap. There's an actual walkthrough YouTube about pronunciation. So these are all here for you to take advantage of. And then what I'd like to do here is to just go over these very quickly. This instructor news announcements forum will be for me. This is where I'll tell you I've finished grading. Because the grade book in Moodle will be the formal grade book I'll use. I'll transfer those grades every week from MindTap. And so any announcements that I have to make, this is a forced subscription that you'll all get. This course questions and student connection forum is more just for general information. Maybe you want to share something or you have a question, and I do check this frequently. If there's something of a personal nature, though, I believe it would be best to email me. These 2 links here, this is LCC's tutoring services, and then our online courses for me is just addressing whether or not you prefer to take a class online, and that's an LCC link as well. And then lastly here, these are just some additional resources for using vowels, and then word parts and what they mean, and then this is actually a how'd you say as a medical dictionary with audio pronunciation. That's another place that you can check your pronunciation. So I want to just acquaint you with what each week will look like in Moodle. So here's week 1. I have the objectives and then what's due. Okay, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I will always list specifically the things that need to be done. So there's plenty of activities, which I'll show you in just a minute in MindTap, but there are graded activities that you must do. Okay, so I said here you should attempt all exercises for study and review prior to completing the following graded items. And so there's quick check activities. Every week you'll have a pronunciation quiz and then a learning lab. And the learning lab is worth the most points, and that is what takes the most time. And then here is the self-introduction forum that you'll need to complete by the Thursday of the first week, so September 27th. And for those of you that are not familiar with forums, I want to go into this and I'll show you how it actually works. Okay, so here we are, we're in the forum, and just please post to the class forum an introduction of yourself to your colleagues and address the following. Please type your name in the subject text box and then answer the following questions in the message text box. Why are you taking the course, your academic goals, your experience with online courses, experience with health information management or health information technology, the healthcare system, or anything else that you wish to share. So I have mine down here, and I'm just introducing myself, but let's go ahead and we'll do one just so you see how it works. So you click right here, add a new discussion topic, which is actually creating a new string. And then we'll go ahead and follow the instructions. So it says, please type your name in the subject text box. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Okay, and then in the message text box, I'm going to type all my information answering these questions. And then I'm going to scroll to the bottom when I'm through, and I'm going to say post to forum. And then you'll get this confirmation here that it's been successfully done. And you do have 30 minutes to edit it if you wish to. Go in and make any changes. Okay, so that's how the online forum works, and this actually serves as our written assignment for the first week. and it's LCC's attendance policy now that if you don't do something within the first week, why then you don't show evidence that you're participating in the class, you get dropped. So, so you should be fine with just making sure that you get the self-introduction form done by Thursday night. And then basically there's a chapter PowerPoint for the publisher's PowerPoint each week. These three things you will see, but you don't need to do anything with. These are placeholders that I have each week for the gradebook in Moodle. So they are just really for me, okay? So you won't see them, and then, like, for example, after the first week, you will see them in week 1 because they become visible after I post grades for that previous week. So every Monday or Tuesday, I will work on putting grades in for the previous week. So now let's go ahead and go into MindTap. Okay, and this is what MindTap looks like. Let me get this centered a little bit better. All right, so here's our class. Here is the information about downloading the mobile app. So you want to click on there. So what I'd like to do is go into week 1, chapter 1, so you get familiar with what it looks like. And there is something that's super important to remember when you are expanding or opening or collapsing or closing selections and certain folders, okay, that become visible. So let's go ahead. So right now, each chapter is collapsed, okay? So let's go ahead. Now you just click on it, and it opens it up, all right? So here's lots of other activities that you can do. So there's reality check, check yourself. There's an introduction, study time, okay? And we keep going down. Now, there is a quick check, okay? So there's 1, 1, 1, 2, and you'll notice if we go back into Moodle, under week 1, I have, for the graded items, it's quick checks 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, okay? So we keep scrolling down, and the important folder that you want to be sure to always open up is the graded learning exercises each week, okay? And so this is where you're going to see the pronunciation test, learning lab, and notice down below you're always going to see counts towards grades, and I have them all in this one folder, graded learning exercises for the chapter, okay? And then down below here are the quick checks. Now, if I clicked here, all right, that's going to launch me into the beginning of this section. And when you first begin to activate these, you know, it takes a few minutes for the buffer to work, and it starts to, you know, get used to your internet browser, your device. And anytime that you are in something and you wish to get out, the way that you get out is you just hit this X over here in the right-hand corner, okay? And then it takes you back to where you were. All right, so let me reposition this here. So if, for example, I am scrolling back up and I close this folder, okay, then I'm collapsing. And once again, you click on it and it expands. And so a lot of times you won't, like if I click here and it launches me again, sometimes it'll be that it launches you, but sometimes it will open another folder. So you want to be sure to make yourself aware that sometimes if you don't see something, you just have to click and open up things, okay? So for example, like here in chapter 2, it's the same thing. You keep scrolling down, all right? And then here's the quick check, all right? And it's a separate folder, but that's not the graded quick check. And then you get down here, and now the quick checks are available, all right? And these are the ones that have to be done. So, and then don't forget about this. This is in week 2, the word part review. And you have the review and then the post tests. So, and again, just clicking that open, and these count towards grade, okay? And same thing here. Click that open, and these count towards grades. So you want to make sure that you're always expanding and collapsing folders and making sure that everything is fully open. And you see how this shows the folder open. You click it again, it closes it. Closes it, okay? And then we go back up, all right? And same thing here. So I want to close that, okay? And then close that, and then close the week. So you go through and, you know, and then you can click there. So you will get the hang of this as time goes on. But you do need to pay attention to the graded learning exercises folder. Those are where all the activities are that count towards a grade. And then lastly, I just wanted to point out that The Learning Lab is what is really worth the most points. And so I'm sure I've forgotten something in going over all these things, but I wish you the best of luck this quarter, and I'm looking forward to having you as a student. All right. See you virtually soon. Thank you.